Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Mary Mac. Today we're going to talk about a tasty treat known as the Mop Burger. This is something that is very popular in my family and a lot of families in western Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio who are of Italian descent eat these sorts of things. They're really good. What it is, it's sort of like a smashed meatball.
It's like a meatball crossed with a burger.
Yeah, meatball crossed with a burger. And they're really, really good. And we have a variation of that we're going to tell you about, too, that's called a Bop Burger, which we just called it that because, I don't know, I just make things up. So, this is something that my family had probably every other week. It's just a good thing to make for supper. It's something maybe different that you hadn't had before. It's sort of like, when you're done with it, it's kind of like a meatball sandwich in a hamburger bun. But it's really good. We called them, when I was little, we called them fat hamburgers because they're kind of fat hamburgers, So,
very descriptive name.
Very descriptive name, yes. So for the Mop Burger, to make 6 to 8 patties, you're going to need 2 pounds of good lean ground beef. We usually use grass-fed beef. You don't have to use grass-fed beef, but if you have it, use it. But nice lean beef works the best. A half cup of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And then to that, you're going to add salt, pepper, garlic, basil, and grated Romano cheese. I don't use Parmesan cheese. I don't like Parmesan cheese. And it's kind of one of those things that my family never used Parmesan cheese. We always used Romano. So there's some of us Italians that turn up our noses at Parmesan cheese. So we're cheese snobs. But we always use Romano, just like it better. So what you're going to do is put your ground beef into a metal bowl, nice big metal bowl, and you're going to sprinkle your breadcrumbs on top, and then sprinkle your salt, pepper. You're going to have like maybe a 4th teaspoon of salt, an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, garlic powder, probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. I use granulated garlic usually. I like that better than garlic powder, but you can use either. Probably a 1/2 teaspoon of dried basil. You can use fresh basil also, but dried basil is usually what you have. And probably about a tablespoon of Romano cheese. To that, you're going to mix that up a little bit. Then you're going to crack an egg into a separate bowl. As I've said before in other things, you always crack your egg into a separate bowl and dump that in. Mix well. Now, the easiest thing to do is if you want to make 6 big patties, which are going to be like slightly larger than a 1/3 pound patty, you divide your meat up into 6 equal balls. If you want 8 patties out of it, slightly larger than 1/4 pound, you're going to divide it into 8 balls. And press them down, not super flat, but press them down, make a nice size patty. Now, these can be either fried in a skillet, baked in the oven on a tray, broiled in the oven, or cooked on the grill. On the grill, you're going to have to spray your grill with a non-stick spray because they'll tend to stick more just because of the breadcrumbs and things in them. Typically, I bake them in the oven. And you're going to bake them, if you're going to bake them, 375 for about a half an hour. Same thing on the grill, on the stovetop until they're nice and brown.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you make them round, or do you make them, like, oblong? Because I feel like it would be easier to find an oval-shaped bun for them.
Well, there are a couple bakeries around in western Pennsylvania, commercial bakeries, that make a nice oval bun. But you can make them shaped whatever you have. If you have a nice, like a hard Italian roll available, you can make it round. You can make it square, like ciabatta. If you can get ciabatta buns, a square patty works nice for that. An oval patty, that's the beauty of these. There's enough meat in them that you can shape them different ways. So whatever you have, ciabatta buns are so popular now that you can get them pretty easily. And they're very, very delicious with a burger like this. So going to cook your burger. To serve the burger, what you want to do is put the burger on the bottom of the bun, top your burger with a slice of provolone cheese, and then put some sauce on top of that, put your top on, and there you have it.
We had a question from a listener while
from
we
the
were recording.
audience. We had an audience question.
We had a question from the audience. You use like spaghetti or pizza sauce on it.
Yeah, marinara, whatever you like, whatever your favorite pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce.
I
whatever.
wouldn't put Alfredo sauce on it.
We have
I think that would be bad.
We have a rather large studio audience here, and sometimes they just step up to the microphone and ask a question. So thank you, studio audience, for the question. Thank you. You'll be getting a consolation prize after the program.
Is it a burger?
It could be a burger. And you can add things to that, like if you like grilled peppers or onions or mushrooms, you can make a few little variations to it depending upon what your family likes. My family just likes them plain like this. And there's a pretty, like I said, it's a nice, different thing to make, quick, easy, and delicious. Our variation of that, we discovered this thing last week.
This beautiful thing.
I was so excited. We went to our local meat market, which is Beatty's Country Market, located on Route 108, just outside of Mount Jackson. Technically, they have an Eden Valley address, but they're closer to New Galilee. We live in a strange little area of Western Pennsylvania.
All the neighborhoods overlap.
Oh, good grief. There's a name for everything. You go around a bend, and it's probably called Around the Bend or something. But anyway, Beatty's Country Market. If you live in Western Pennsylvania or Eastern Ohio, you can find them on Facebook and on the internet. They have wonderful, wonderful meats. A lot of it is locally raised. It's a wonderful meat cutter. The places, you can see the area where the meat is being processed, and it's very clean. They do a wonderful job. They have their own smoker, so they have a lot of different smoked meats that they offer. They have a wonderful selection of cheeses, all sorts of things. So this is turning into a commercial for Beatty's, and I love it because they're great people. But they have something up there that's called ground bacon. They take, when they cut up the bacon that they have smoked from locally raised hogs, they cut the bacon up, and the ends they save and they grind in a meat grinder, and they make this beautiful ground bacon. Now, it's not cooked. Remember, it's just smoked. It's not cooked. So you can add it to things like a burger. You can fry it in a skillet and use it as bacon bits or whatever. It's really
1,000 times better than bacon bits.
It's phenomenal. So what we did, we made a variation on our Mop Burger, and we called it a Bop Burger, being as the B is for bacon. We're not sure why it's called a Mop Burger, but the M is for meatball, and we don't know what the OP is for. So, whatever.
Original poster.
Original poster.
The recipe.
Meatball original poster. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. So the Bop Burger, what we did for that was we started with our 2 pounds of ground beef. We had a half a cup of plain breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and minced onions. And we put the ground beef in a bowl. We put half a cup of plain breadcrumbs on top of that, 4th teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, about a half teaspoon of granulated garlic, and about a teaspoon of minced onions, dried minced onions we used. And then we blended that. Then we added 1 egg, same as the other mix. So you have the same basic mixture here. And we divided it up into our patties. And then what we did was we pressed bacon into the ground bacon, which wasn't cooked. So we made the patties, and then we took the ground bacon and we pressed it into both sides of the patties.
We didn't mix it.
We didn't mix it. We just pressed it in. It was amazing. We baked it in the oven. This is something, I'm not sure if you could do that on the grill because I think the bacon would probably fall off. I don't think it would stay on. If you mixed it in with the burger, you could, but I would suggest this frying or baking in the oven. And we baked it at 375 for about 40 minutes. And it crisped up really nice. Worked really, really well. Oh, it smelled so good when it was cooking. I mean, it smelled like a smoked burger. It was so good. And then we served these. I made these sort of oval shaped, like a little steak, kind of. And then I found a nice...
it's like a mini sub bun.
Yeah, I found a nice mini sub bun, and we used that for our bun. And then these we served with Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, which is a very good barbecue sauce. We served it with sweet and spicy Sweet Baby Ray's and some onions on. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. Just delicious. So those are just a couple neat kind of burgers that you can make. Like I said, it's something that we make pretty often, so we enjoy it. I hope you give them a try. Hope you enjoy them too. Thanks for listening if you did, and if you didn't, too bad for you.